Hi, this is Mark Glady, agronomist for Winfield United in western Minnesota. We're out here today at the Murdock, Minnesota answer plot location in the continuous corn section, which was planted April 30th, and we're evaluating the corn rootworm damage. The first plot we dug plants from was a conventional corn, no rootworm trait, with no insecticide in furrow, plenty of goosenecking on this corn plant, and if we zoom into the canopy, you can see lots of plants have lodging issues due to lack of roots. When we zoom in on the roots, we can see plenty of brown and scarring on the roots. Brown is a sign of death. White roots, in contrast to regrowth, the white ones is a sign of health or alive. White roots are growing, brown ones are dead. After soaking the root balls in the pail of water, we very quickly were able to float several rootworms. We had over a dozen rootworm larvae come to the surface. On the tip of my knife are 3 very small larvae that have just hatched in the last couple days. And it's going to be at least another 3 to 4 weeks before these larvae convert to a beetle. After they feed on the roots for a couple weeks, they'll convert to beetles and then emerge from the ground. Contrasting that feeding with the next plot, which is a SmartStax hybrid. It has the rootworm trait. There's no root lodging. We see lots of white, healthy roots, lots of fibrous roots. And even though we were still able to float 7 rootworm larvae, those rootworms, the eggs were laid there last year, they hatched. They still have to feed on the roots to ingest enough protein to kill them to die. That's why we still see them and might see a little scarring, but certainly not to the extent that we saw from the conventional corn. The last topic is today, as far as what can you do about it. On this sticky trap that we just pulled out this morning, we stuck several corn rootworm adult beetles to the trap. These are all western corn rootworms on this location. The westerns are the yellow ones with the black stripes or on the females, or solid black shield on the male. In contrast, northern corn rootworms are a lime green color. 2 issues come up with adult rootworm beetles. The first of which is silk clipping. So if we're still silking and pollinating, we want to watch to make sure the beetles don't clip the silks right down to the husk. And sometimes when you look at the ears, you can see these have been clipped. They were clipped down within about 1 inch of the husk. You got the brown from the death of the clipping on the end. And wherever you've got silks hanging down, these are all kernels that did not pollinate, either due to clipping or lack of pollination. Other ears have clear misses or dents where we're not developing that blister stage kernel. So we're missing a few kernels on this here as well. What do you do about it for treatment? If we're still pollinating, we want to make sure we treat before silks get clipped to within 1 inch of the husk. If we know we need to raise corn on these fields again next year, the threshold for treating the beetles, to kill the beetles, to prevent them from dropping back into the ground to laying eggs for next year, is 1 beetle per plant is a threshold to treat to control to reduce populations for next year. There's still some fungicide applications going out. Insecticides generally tank mix very well with fungicides to get some plant health and disease control from the fungicide, as well as rootworm beetle control with the insecticide.